Lavrov just cooled all Western and American journalists. Watch this video.
Well, I would say that those who are sincerely interested in understanding what is going on should know by now that never ever Russia deliberately targeted any sites which are not linked to military abilities of Ukraine.
This is an electronics factory, though, sir. This is an electronics factory. I've spoken to people on the ground there. It builds coffee machines, among other electronics. This is not a military site.
Well, I understand that some people are really naive, and when they see a coffee machine in the window, they believe that this is the place where coffee machines are produced. Our intelligence has very good information. And we target only, as I said, either military enterprises, military sites, or industrial enterprises directly involved in producing military equipment for Ukrainian army. And on the contrary, I never recall any concern expressed by the media in the West regarding the activities of Ukrainian armed forces. When they, for example, in the Kursk region, when they invaded it one year ago, there is no military targets at all. All the targets which they have been hitting daily are civilian. They, by the way, took civilian hostages from there who had nothing to do with the conflict. Recently, they undertook the third attempt to blow up the Crimean bridge. They attacked a few days ago another nuclear power station. They used to attack the one in Zaporizhia. Now they attacked the nuclear power station in Smolensk. And they continue to do this. They continue to exercise terrorist attacks. There is no other way to call them. But if you believe that if there is American capital in an enterprise which is used to produce weapons to kill Russians, and you believe that, be it American, be it Hungarian, be it anybody's capital, that this gives impunity to those who build weapons to kill us? I don't think so. I don't think this is fair. This is kind of, I would say, imperialistic.
Yes, Mr. Foreign Minister, just to confirm, you are confirming that Russia did in fact target and attack the American-owned company that was hit this week.
You should be professor in the Soviet universities, because you twisted very interestingly what I said. I did not say that I confirmed that incident. I never heard of it. I just asked a rhetorical question. Do you believe that if there is an enterprise producing weapons and being part of the Ukrainian military machine, intended to produce things to kill Russian citizens, and just because this enterprise happened to have some American capital in it, it should be immune? That was my question. I have not heard about the episode, and if you can send me some reference to this incident to which you referred, I would look at it.
You see how this lady was trying to twist whatever Lavrov was saying? You should be thanking people like us, because we are bringing you the other side of the story. Because the West is bent on only showing you one side. No. People like us are also showing you the other side. And as a rational human being, when there is something going on, you should know both sides before you make judgment. But in the case of what the Western media is doing, they are only showing you one side, whilst people take judgment from only the one side that they are showing. Did you hear what Lavrov said? So they said, oh, the Russians are targeting civilian, infrastructures. They are targeting civilians. And Lavrov said, you guys are only seeing what the Russians are doing. What about the Ukrainians who are targeting civilians in Kursk, who blew up the Crimea Bridge. What about that? Why don't you report about that? Why don't you criticize the Ukrainians? Always criticizing only with the Russians, and come out hypocritically and pretend like you are neutral. By the way, you're welcome to Timo360 once again. If you're interested in geopolitical contents like this, then please make sure to subscribe to this channel and also turn on the bell notification so that anytime I post any new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Let's get into the details. Bam! One man down. One man down. So Germany is out. Germany said, look, we really want to help the Ukrainians, but currently looking at our economic situation and economic condition, we can't help the Ukrainians. By the way, let's go into the details. The Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany unexpectedly stated that Germany can no longer afford the existing warfare system, according to the Telegraph. So this was reported by the Telegraph. Okay, spending on social programs has gotten out of control and threatens budget sustainability, Menz noted. Germany showed the worst result among G7 countries since 2019. Israel GDP has decreased by 0.1%. So this is Germany. Germany's situation, in fact, this is not the first time that I am saying this. Germany is currently struggling because if you look at Germany industrial complex, it is built on the backbone of Russian oil and gas. And here they are arrogantly claiming that we don't want Russian oil and gas again. You are struggling. Somebody is helping you. And you are coming out and you are flexing muscles that I don't need Russian oil and gas again. So this has actually pushed most of Germany companies to China and America. So America deliberately pushed the Germans to, have a confusion with the Russians. Then they turn around and they are selling higher in terms of oil and gas. Now, the price that the Americans are selling their oil and gas to the Germans is times 2 of whatever they were getting from the Russians. Very expensive. And this should be a lesson to the Germans. So Germany is saying that, look, we cannot afford or we can't continue to support the Ukrainians. So one man down, one European country is already out. Interesting. You know how we do it, so I am going to give you guys most of the updates, right? So the United Kingdom is currently building mortuaries, and I don't know why they are doing that. I don't get it. Why is United Kingdom building mortuaries? What are they preparing for? By the way, let me read something here for you guys. I'll go back to that particular story, but still on United Kingdom. This is what is coming from Lavrov. The United Kingdom will continue to inflect training programs for the Ukrainian armed forces until the end of 2026. As reported by the country Minister of Defense, the training will be adapted to the need of Ukrainian military. Now, to those of you who keep saying that, oh, the Ukrainians are fighting alone. Oh, why is it taking Russia so long? Because of issues like this. Because the Ukrainians are not fighting alone. By the way, the Azov commander came out and said, look, if they even train Ukrainian soldiers till 2030, Ukraine is not going to win. Ukraine is actually in bad shape. By the way, let's continue. It's currently building mortuaries to store dead bodies. And it is secret. They didn't tell the public and they figured this out. This is from Asia Daily. Let me read the heading for you. What is Britain preparing for? It is a question. So they are asking, what is Britain preparing for? Mobile mortuaries and refrigerators for 7.5 million were secretly ordered. So the British are currently building more mortuaries. I think they are preparing for war against Russia. I think so. Well, it is the British who are currently training more soldiers to go and fight the Russians. So they are playing the leading role. So I think it makes sense for them to build more mortuaries because they know what is already ahead of those soldiers they are training. They know that death is inevitable. They know very well that no, whether they like it or not, most of these soldiers they are sending to the front lines will definitely return back in caskets. So the British has already anticipated this, and they are preparing ahead. Quite interesting. So let's talk a bit about the front lines. What is currently happening in the front lines? Russian Ministry of Defense came out with some interesting figures, which I want to share with you. So during the night, whilst you guys were sleeping, this is what happened. During the past night, air defense duty forces intercepted and destroyed 21 Ukrainian drones. 7 over the territory of Smolensk region, 6 over the territory of Bryansk region, 3 over the territory of Oryol region. These guys, their names are very, very difficult to pronounce. 3 over the territory of Moscow. Really? Moscow? Right? Moscow region, including 2 UAVs flying towards Moscow. Okay. 1 over the territory of Kaluga region. 1 over the territory of whatever. So basically, this is what the Russian Ministry of Defense came out with. So this drone warfare continued to be a very big part of this war. I keep telling you guys that you see this war currently happening between Russia and Ukraine. This is the most technological war ever fought in the history of mankind. So to the ignorant people who don't understand these things can sit in their house and talk rubbish. They don't understand what is happening. The most advanced and technological war. So you don't rush. The moment you start rushing, we are in an era whereby one bomb can wipe out, a whole division. So you don't rush, you don't misbehave. Once you start rushing, they are going to take you out. That is why the Russians are taking it easy. And gradually, it is now obvious that the Russians are winning. It is a fact. Whether you like it or not, that is the fact. So those of you who have been following my news, yesterday I told you guys something about one Azov commander who granted an interview, and he spoke about the catastrophic losses of the Ukrainians in the front line. And this is what he said. Former chief of staff of what they said, I can add it here, right? Once there are some words, I don't want to use them in my videos because YouTube wouldn't allow me to do that. Former chief of staff, I'm not going to add that, group of Azov stated that even 1,000 times mobilization of 100,000 people in Ukraine will not be able to solve the current problem of the armed forces of Ukraine. This is chief of staff of the Azov battalion. And remember that the Azov battalion is part of the Ukrainians who started this war not in 2022, back in 2014. So he knows what he's saying. It's not just any ordinary or regular guy who is speaking out of emotions. He's telling you guys facts that even 100,000 mobilization of Ukrainian forces cannot make any difference. And that is the fact that he's telling you guys. By the way, let's continue. So over the weekends, most American warmongering, media companies were pushing this whole agenda of Russia targeting an American company in Ukraine. So when the Vice President of America was interviewed, this is what he said.
But was President Trump, were you enraged when you learned that Russia targeted an American company based in Ukraine?
I don't
was
like
that not
it,
a slap
Kristen.
in the face
I
to
don't.
the peace
I don't
process?
like it, Kristen. But this is a war, and this is why we want to stop the killing. The Russians have done a lot of things that we don't like. A lot of civilians have died. We've condemned that stuff from the get-go. And frankly, President Trump has done more to apply pressure and to apply economic leverage to the Russians, certainly than Joe Biden did for 3.5 years when he did nothing but talk, but do nothing to bring the killing to a stop. So you ask me what I'm enraged by. What I'm enraged by is the continuation of the war. What I'm enraged by is a presidency and Joe Biden who for 3 years did nothing to end the killing. What I'm actually excited about right now is that we have a president who's engaging in energetic diplomacy to try to stop the killing. That's as it should be. I think the American people should be proud of it. And whatever the outcome of this, whether the war ends in 3 months or 6 months or hopefully not beyond, but maybe, we should be proud that we have a president who's trying to stop the killing. He's done it, by the way, 6 wars, that the president has brought to a close all over the world. This would be the 7th. It's the most complicated, but we're trying despite that.
I had the
He said, I don't like the fact that Russia targeted an American company in Ukraine, but this is war. What do you expect? So to all these warmongering journalists who continue to push for this whole idea of Russia targeted an American company, what the hell are you expecting? By the way, if you guys observe very well the video that I posted in the beginning of the this particular video, the Lavrov, that interview with Lavrov, at the end, Lavrov said, it doesn't matter whether America, whether Hungary, any country who is producing weapons to target the Russians would hesitate to take out that company or that country. They don't fear anybody. And that is exactly what the Vice President of America is saying, J.D. Vance. I hope I'm getting the name right. J.D. Vance. Yes, J.D. Vance. This guy, I don't know why his name is always difficult for me to pronounce. I don't know why. J.D. Vance. Yes. So that is what the Vice President of America is saying. I also don't understand what exactly the Prime Minister of Canada stands to gain from this war. So the Prime Minister of Canada was in Ukraine as part of Trump delegation to go and speak to Donald Trump, to speak to Zelensky, for them to find a way to end this war. And when he went there, he made some statements which is quite interesting. Canada does not rule out sending troops to Ukraine. Prime Minister, look, I'm not going to waste time on this particular topic. In fact, Canada, what exactly do they have? How many soldiers can Canada produce? Look, if Canada should even send their entire army to Ukraine, I don't think they are going to last for more than 1 month, because the Canadians rely on American protection. So there's no need for me to waste time on Canada. What the hell do they have? What can they do? They can't do anything. So this guy, this is an empty bulldog. This is an empty threat. It's going nowhere. Well, let's continue. So Hungary also affirms their position on they will never allow the Ukrainians to join European Union or NATO, and they will not approve European Union sending European money to Ukraine. That is the position of Hungary. And Zelensky yesterday on Ukraine Independence Day, instead of him to focus on Ukraine independence, he came out and said he threatened the Hungarians. Yes, he threatened them, and the foreign minister of Hungary also responded. I came across something also very interesting about Ukraine. So the Ukrainians currently are buying oil from India. I was quite confused because the Ukrainians have oil, so how come? But I realized that most of these oil territories are currently occupied or taken by the Russians. So the Ukrainians are currently buying more oil from India. But India is also buying oil from Russia. So the whole circle is this way. So it's going round. So the Ukraine... So once Ukraine continue to threaten other countries not to buy Russian oil, in reality, the Ukrainians themselves are buying Russian oil. What an interesting time ahead. In fact, these Ukrainians think they are too smart to threaten other countries. Wow. By the way, thank you very much for watching today's show. Thank you very much for being part of Timo Media, for subscribing to this particular channel. Well, guys, thank you very, very, very much. Today, once again, where are you watching this video from? I want you guys to help me find exactly where most of my viewers are from. So, guys, let me know where you are watching this video from. Shalom. See you guys in the next episode.